Hello guys, this is the second video for this week. I wanted to take a minute and go over a neat little way to name your data as it comes in. I get a lot of questions about this, and while it's not specifically a part of your assignment, I think as we code data in real life and work on our real life research projects, this can come in super handy. So if we go back to our original data sheet that we made in the last video, you'll see that for each data point, I gave it a number. So for example, for the nominal variable, color, our options were 1 equals pink, 2 equals orange, and 3 equals white, which is great. That's a great way to record data. However, as you share your data set or have people jump in and help you on your data set, it sometimes becomes unwieldy for them to always be decoding and recoding data. Sometimes people just want to look at a data set and know what it means. And so there's an easy, quick way to do that. And that's what we're going to do in this video. Okay, so we're going to do the first variable, and that's the nominal variable, color, and it's coded. It's got 3 options, pink, orange, white, and it's coded 1, 2, and 3. And so to do this, we're just going to add another column beside it. So I'll right-click on the column to the right, click Insert, and it'll put in another column. And then I like to color code this beast so I can keep it together in my head. So we'll just color the column headers, and then we'll label it text description, or we can just call it color. Now, in all the data sets I do, I like to have an extra sheet in Excel that just gives me my coding notes, maybe tells me different data collection notes, lets me know the last time I calibrated a piece of equipment or something, just helpful notes in the research. So I'm going to add another sheet by just clicking the plus button down on the bottom of the Excel window. I'm going to click on the sheet name there and title it Notes. And this is where we're going to put the text descriptors that describes each level of that variable. So for this one, I'm going to title the column variable code, and then this one we'll do bloom color. And if I remember right, it was 1 equals pink. Let's go back and look. 1 equals pink, 2 equals orange, and 3 equals white. So go back. 1 equals pink. I'm going to put 1 in the A column and pink in the B column. 2 is orange, and 3 is white. So be mindful of what you exactly what you put in here, because any spelling errors or capitalization changes or capitalization errors will be reflected then on that coding sheet, and it can make a professional sheet look unprofessional in a hurry if you have some simple spelling errors and whatnot. So anyway, we've got the matrix set up there. 1 equals pink, 2 equals orange, 3 equals white, and notice they're both in different columns, the number and then the descriptor. We'll go back to sheet 1, and I'll introduce you to a formula that'll change your life, and that is the Vlookup formula. It's just equals VLOOKUP, and then a left parentheses. This thing is so cool. What it does, it says, you tell Excel to look at this number over here and see what it corresponds to, basically. So we're going to walk through a couple examples. We'll do a couple, and then I'll show you how to copy paste it. So first off, I typed in equals Vlookup, left parentheses. And then the first thing you need to put in is what value do you want Excel to look up? And I want it to look up this value, the 3. Then a comma, and then the next one, you'll see it says table array. That's your data table that contains which one to look up. So we'll go over here and highlight just that. Then you'll do comma. The next one is column index number. So this says Excel, look up this number in this group of data. Once you find that number, bump over how many columns. The first column is 1, of course. So if you put in a 1, it would just return the value you looked up. So there's 1, and then there's 2. So we're going to say Excel, look up this number in this table, and when you find it, bump over 1 column. So that's going to be the 2. And the next one, you get to choose true or false. If you choose true, it's great for Excel to get close to what you want. So maybe you don't know the exact value. Maybe your values can range like to 3 decimal places, so you just want it to get close. So choose true. But more often than not, that will lead to heartache and heartbreak. So don't ever do true. Type false here, and that forces Excel to find a correct match, or it'll do an error, which is helpful because then you can actually find the issue. Then push enter, and we'll go over here, and you'll see that enter key 3 equals white, and so there's a 3, and Excel put white. So let's do that one more time. We're just going to go back and we're going to put in the formula exactly the same on another example. So we'll type equals VLOOKUP, left parentheses. Then the first thing we click is the value we want Excel to look up. And that's value this right here for 1. Then we'll go to our notes and we'll highlight the data table that we want it to search in. Then we'll add a column. We don't want it to search in the first cell. We want it to search, the first column. We want it to search in the second column. So we'll type a 2. And then, oh, I didn't pick that up. Okay, we do the table array. There we go. And then a comma. And then we want a 2. And then false. And then right parentheses. And push enter. See, we got an error. It's not liking something. It doesn't like right here. It incorrectly referenced. I clicked off of that and it didn't do it right. We need to reference this cell. There we go. And push enter. And you'll see it pulls up pink. And you'll see number 1 up here is equal to pink. And so we win. Okay, now the temptation here is to click on this beast and just drag it all the way down. But let's look at what happens if we do that. If we drag that down to fill the rest of those cells, you'll see we start getting errors. Because what it does, it slides everything down. It slides this cell reference down as well as this cell reference. So if we highlight that thing, we'll see it asks Excel about the right cell, but then when we go over here to the notes, it starts referencing at A8 through A10. It slid that cell down as well. So let's go back and let's fix it. We know that these dudes are all wrong. We'll delete those. Oops. There we go. This one and this one too. Okay, so now we're going to lock in a cell reference so it doesn't slide everything down. So looking at this formula, we do want it to slide down the B7, that needs to slide down, but it's this one, the table array lookup, that we don't want it to slide down. So if you highlight the values that you don't want to slide, and you have a bunch of options here. The easiest one is just to push F4, function 4 on your keyboard, and you'll see that that puts in $ before and after the column and row references. So now it says $A, $5, $B, $7. There's a $ in front of every column and every row reference, and that's what we want. Alternatively, you can put your cursor in there and just type a $. It has the same end result. But what that does, it keeps Excel from dragging that down. So when we drag this down, you'll see that it still references cell A5 through B7. It didn't drag down that reference. So there you have it. There's a quick and dirty way to put in the text descriptors, so when you have to hand your data file off to someone, they're not totally lost as to what means what. All right, if you have any questions, be sure and send me a quick email, and I'll see you next week.